Okay, we're good. Welcome back to day 118 of learning to read Chinese. We're almost done with our chapter on tools and appliances and the like. Today we're starting with luo. And this luo refers to a square-bottomed bamboo basket. Just like this. This object is called luo. And if you look at our etymology here, top, this is tells you that it's made of bamboo. Inside, this is like a basket or net or, something of that nature. Over here we got a bird. And here we have a string. So it's like a net made of string that's used to capture birds. That would be the original meaning of the luo in the bottom. And then we say something that's sort of similar to that object, but it's made of bamboo, and that's how we get this luo. Wen. This wen refers to the pattern of silk fabrics, grain, or designs. It's like wood grain, you would call this, and same thing with like the striations or the reticulation on a forged steel, the kind of ripply pattern, or like here it says and silk fabrics, woven fabrics, or even like the stripes on a cat or tiger or what have you, or maybe stretch marks on a person, anything like that you could call wen. This is on the left is a string. On the right, this wen is the same one that you use when talking about language, like written stuff. That's also one for the sound, right? Phonetic. Next up we have bo. This thing is called boji. This here. Boji, it's a dustpan, so it's for collecting dust or trash on the ground or something. When you sweep it up, you collect it in here and you throw it out. That's called boji. And then this is also this thing. Another, what do you call that one? You call that okay, well I guess there's two different objects that you could call boji. One of which is a dustpan, and the other which is a winnowing pan. This thing, you kind of toss the grains when it's windy, and then because the chaff is lighter and less dense, so the grains and rice and whatever it is that you want to keep is gonna fall onto the pan, and then the rest, the stuff that you don't want, is gonna blow away in the wind. That's what this thing is. So either of these could be called boji. And then we got another pronunciation of this character, which is bo, and bo is going to be the verb. So this boji is the noun for the object, and bo is going to be the verb for winnow or jolt, like a sharp shaking, like poking or something like that, a jolt. Seen other verbs like bo dong, or jolt or strike, bo dang being rock, roll. And those baskets, the basket can also be called bo lo. This one. This one, again, is made of bamboo, and right we have.我怎么忘记了？
什么？
这个怎么 ？What's with this one？
什么？我那个？
这个呀。What is that?
That thing is just a person, you know.
No, what is this tool?
他就是抓了一个铲子呀。
Like a shovel?
Yeah.
What is this? Oh, this is like a basket. Why
on
is
a,
the basket
on a stool or something.
Why is it on a stool? None of this makes sense to me.
Well,
why would you take a shovel to a basket on a stool?
没有啦，这个不是 shovel 啦，这个他这个，因为他 standardize try to 这个说这个是个什么 tool，这个意思就是说你就是一个就是手抓了一个 tool，that's it.
Oh, it could be any tool. It's generic. It's not a specific tool.
Yeah, 他要画个图片嘛，就糟糕了呀。
No, I know this thing just made it more confusing than it was.
Yeah, because when you do a picture, then all of a sudden it becomes specific. But what it meant is
it's
any kind of tool.
It's supposed to be generic.
Yeah.
Any kind of tool, something like a basket.
Yeah.
I guess this is related to like that dustpan meaning.
Yeah,
you gotta sweep the stuff into the basket.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. This is this character doesn't get used by itself. It's only in Pochi.
Yeah, so this thing, right? This character.
Okay, I guess that's not true.
Pretty much that's
well, it doesn't get used by itself though.
Yeah, there's not.
At least not nowadays. Maybe at one point it did. What is this?
寄居就是 squat. 寄居就是 squat.
居长基座.
Yeah.
Apparently it's supposed to use to mean squat.
Yeah, 就 open yeah. 就是 you split your legs and sit like
you
that.
You kind of sit low to the ground, like, I don't know, 基本. Only dustpans can also be called that.
Yeah.
基波, spirit of wind. What's that got to do with anything?
I don't know. 这个就不知道了.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, kind of confusing. But in the context of this chapter on tools and appliances, it's going to be just in Pochi.
Yeah, 这个鸡，你看这鸡就是一个 stool on it.
No, it's just a picture. It's just a picture of the thing. This is literally it's this object. It's just a drawing of that thing.
Yeah, and then the boy is just added a hand with a tool.
A hand with a tool. I guess that's like if this is the dustpan, then the other one is like the broom.
Well, the other one is the verb. You see what I'm saying? This thing is just add a hand with a tool. So that means that you're doing something with it. Yeah, doing something with it. So
okay, fair enough. Yeah, they go together. Su means to go against the stream, upstream. That is, recall, try to find, think of. This is going upstream all the way to the source of the river. That's the idea. So this is this su. What? This su originally referred to like the first day of a month in the农历叫什么? What do you call that? Like the agricultural, the lunar calendar that they used to use in like agriculture and stuff. It used to be the first day of the month in that system. So being the first day of the month, it came to mean like the first or the origin of many things. So in this case, we put the 三点水, the water radical, on the left, and then it becomes like the source of the river. So you're trying to trace back to the source or the origin. This would be 溯源, or 源 is it's like the source, and then 溯 would be the going upstream, the tracing back. Galt. This is a very specific tool. It's the big long pole that you use to propel these little boats, which are called punts. The boat is called a punt, and this pole is used to propel it by pushing off of the river bed. This one's very straightforward. Galt on the bottom, right, it just refers to something big and tall, because the pole has to be really long, and it's made of bamboo, so you got that bamboo hat top. Pretty easy. Mo means dusk, sunset, evening, or the end. Could also mean aged or towards the end of something, like something's lifetime or something's duration, just as the dusk or the sunset is the end of a day. Now this character also again is pretty straightforward. You got the trees, and then the sun is shining through the trees. Now when the sun is low enough to shine through the trees, and like it's not like up above in the sky, but rather it's in the middle of the trees, then you know it's setting. Shuan. This refers to a bolt, like on a door, a plug, a cork, like on a bottle, or a stopper. Any sort of these things that keep something shut. And you'll notice that this is very similar to this other character that we went over previously. This one looks very similar. It's got the same right half, it's got the same pronunciation, and the only difference is this radical on the left, which over here is the 提手旁, the one with the hand that's doing something. So that's how you know this one is the verb for tie, fasten, or bolt. And the other one is a noun. This one is a noun. It's made of, just tells you it's made of wood or something like wood. I guess cork is vaguely wood-like. Close enough. Same kind of deal, right? It's linked, all these things are kind of linked together into one piece. It stays together. 算全. And then, yeah. Next up, 坠. This one, originally this referred to pawn, like you pawn off some belonging, some property for money. Then it also came to mean to assemble, or to, this meaning join together. This is actually based off this other character that sounds the same. It's also 坠, but it looks different. But then they just started using this one for that, and then it came to mean the same thing. Mean add or attach. Can mean burdensome. Can mean superfluous. Something that's extra, useless, unnecessary. Anything superfluous or useless. Can also refer to a son-in-law who marries into the wife's family and takes her family name. This is called 赘婿. So we got a variety of seemingly unrelated meanings. Alright, we gotta look at the etymology. So this, again, over here we got the hand with a tool of some kind, and over here we have something like a grain, maybe. So that referred to storing grain or harvesting, storing stuff that you harvested. On the bottom is the money, so it's like exchanging your goods for money, which was the original meaning. Tuo. I believe tuo was the tuo was the verb for carrying on the back or suffering, because it's hard labor to be carrying stuff on your back all day. Yes. And then tuo would be the noun, referring to either a draft animal like a mule, donkey, ox, whatever, or it could refer to the load, the goods carried by such an animal. And this, that's a horse on the side, or some animal that's like a horse. On the right could be like a person, according to this. But this is da, isn't it? It's a character for big. So, like, it's because the horse is drawn sideways, so then a big load on the back of the horse. Something like that. Ja. This was like an ancient torture, punishment, public humiliation device. Pretty terrible stuff, this thing. It's made of wood, so you got this mu on the side. On the right is jia, which means to add. It's got the phonetic property. Not sure what other use that does aside from the sound. But yeah, it's this thing. It's this big board with a hole for the head. And then the thing about these is, if you got this on, you can't feed yourself. So if you either would have the prisoners, the criminals or whoever, have to beg for food and have people feed them, or otherwise they would starve to death. So this was a pretty cruel punishment. We call these kang. I guess it's, I think, from Portuguese or something. I never heard of that word before. Heard of like yokes and pillories and whatever. Kind of similar. A little bit. So is a lock. It could also be a chain, but specifically the kind of chain that's used for binding and locking things up. You'd call 锁链, or 链 could refer to any sort of chain. So like not 链, right? It should be. Oops. I think it's this character here. Yeah, it's Lian. Yeah, it could refer to any kind of chain, like the ones for jewelry. 手链 would be like a bracelet, or 项链 would be on the kind that you wear around your neck, necklace, chain, as a decoration. But if you call 锁链 would be the kind that's used for locking stuff up, because 锁 is lock, fetters, trammels, chains. This this one. Okay, we'll come back to that. And this right here, 枷锁 is like a yoke or shackles. It's like the combination of all the stuff that they use to make sure that you can't go anywhere or do stuff when you're a prisoner. But this is also used metaphorically in all the same sentences. In all the same senses that you would use like yokes and shackles and chains and whatever. In English, metaphorical senses for like metaphorical bondage. I was gonna go back and talk about this. It's gonna, oh come on. It's gonna load for me. Or maybe not. Yeah, well this right here. Oh jeez, come on. It's being really annoying right now. This is 栓, like a bolt latch or fasten with a bolt. This one is the one that looks like a picture of a bolt on a door. So the other ones are used for some, there's like overlap. That one is the one specifically for bolts on doors because obviously it looks just like that. These other ones, they sound all the same, but they have like adjacent meanings. Like here's 栓斧, tying up like a 栓马桩. When you hitch a horse to a post, that kind of thing, tying up, fastening. It's like adjacent to the meaning of door bolts. It also includes that, but this is the specific and unambiguous one referring to door bolts. Just like the other one also refers to like cork stoppers, I think. What was the thing? Yeah, not just bolts, but also plugs, corks, and stoppers. What is this? Suppository? Where they keep like drugs? A suppository, a solid medical preparation in a roughly conical or cylindrical. Okay, this is something that you stick up. Okay. Embolus. What is this? A blood clot, air bubble, fatty deposit, or other object carried into the bloodstream to lodge in a vessel and cause an embolism. Okay, so this is used for various medical terms. Stuff like either like a plug sort of thing that you shove up in a place, or like a clot or something that plugs up an opening so that stuff can't get through. Things like that. And you wouldn't really use either of these for the door bolts because we have this one for that. But all three of them sound exactly the same, so can get pretty confusing there. Anyhow, where were we? 枷锁. Just like shackles, fetters, other sorts of things like that. Next one is 火 or 火 or 火. This one's got like a bazillion different meanings that are all still in use. So firstly, 火 can mean crack, slit, or break, or give up, or sacrifice. Sacrifice in the sense of some kind of in the service of some goal that is so important that nothing else matters. That sort of spirit is what's going into this sacrifice. So, all the meanings of this character come from like the same general sense of something that did not have an opening, and then you make an opening. Like it could be a crack or breaking apart, or I guess in this sense it would be like when there seems to be no way, but then you're like, where there's a will, there's a way, and you do something crazy to make it still happen. Maybe. Huo. Huo means in a twinkle, in a flash. Something happens real quick. It can also mean remit, exempt, pardon. Like when an official gives clemency to criminals, allows them to have like when somebody who's got life in prison without parole, and they reconsider it and they let them go on parole after 30 years or something. Divert oneself from. It's all vaguely related to that sense of something being closed and then being blasted open. Clear, open-minded, generous, empty, deep, romantic. So to scatter and disappear or dissipate, dredge, like clearing a path that's covered in gunk. Be at ease, free and clear and whatever. It'd also be onomatopoeia for like a whooshing sound, like like things that, if there was. I don't even explain this. Like the whole Moses parting the Red Sea kind of thing. And then there's also Huo. You can pronounce Huo, but in the context of Huoquan. Huoquan, which is this game called Mora. In China, it's played as a drinking game. It's something where you just like throw out some number of fingers, and then everybody has to guess like the sum of the fingers that everybody threw out or something. And then you win if you guessed it correctly. I guess the rules maybe vary from different cultures, but it's some kind of thing where everybody throws out fingers. It's called Huoquan. Man, this is hard to explain all these different meanings when I don't remember ever even seeing this word in my life, because I'm like illiterate, just like the rest of everybody. Should I give some examples maybe? Will make it make more sense. If you say like, this one here, huoko. Huoko would be opening or breach. Huocha is like if you're missing a tooth and you have a gap in your mouth, like a hole in your teeth. What else? Huochu. You're taking a gamble, you're taking a risk, you're putting something out there that maybe is gonna have a good return, but maybe it's not. But even if it's not, you still gotta do it just in case, because you really want that result somehow. Ready to risk it all. Like I think when it says hair lip, it means like a cleft lip. which appears like a gap in lip.
兔子
What?
rabbit 壶嘴
The literal rabbits?
Yeah.
Here it's saying it refers to people.
I know.
What do you?
就是那个
It's like a cleft lip, right?
Yeah,
it's
cleft
like
lip,
where
yeah.
it, where it,
Yeah.
like yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I think that's enough of that. Next. Wait, you have to look at the etymology still. I guess so. So on the right, gu, referring to like a valley or a path or a canyon or something like that in the mountains. On the left is hai, which is like a huh? 你说这个亥是算什么意思？
什么？
这个火里边的。
害就是 critical 的嘛，要害。
And what's that got to do with the meaning of?
那个 well,
I don't like this word.
Well, this is talking about
It's confusing.
talk about the valley, talk about the mountain path.
Yeah, and what's that got to do with it?
So this is like a 要害嘛，所以要害就是 critical juncture. So this path is like critical. So you have to go through it. There's no alternate route, like no 叫什么 detour. So you have to go through.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like to try to express the importance of that opening. So basically, this is talk about the opening, 知道吧? So the emphasis is about the opening, the path through. It's connecting.
Okay.
Yeah. So all the other meanings that
guess that kind of sort of
related to that
relates to this thing about like you gotta seize any opportunity or whatever.
Like 豁口, right? So
I don't know. The more I talk about this, the more confused I get. I think we should just move on.
Yeah, move on.
I've never seen it in like a, I don't know, unfamiliar. And suddenly it's got like 20 different definitions.
Well, when you read stuff and you see
I don't read.
you see these
I can't.
it will make sense.
Anyways, next, 缺. This one's very common. 缺 meaning imperfect or incomplete or missing something. It's got a gap, a vacancy, a deficiency. And this is like a, on the left is some kind of a, like a vase, whatever you want to call it. And on the right is 绝, which gives a phonetic property. And also, what is this? Again, I can't read. 这个是什么意思嘞？右边这个东西。I forgot again what this is supposed to mean.
右边啥东西？哦，这个就是broken pieces 的意思呀。
Broken pieces. So what does this say?
Broken.
What does this say?
破损嘛，就是 broken。
破损的意思。
Yeah， 破损就是 broken 嘛。
本意是
残缺，就是 broken
残
piece。残就是
残
就是残废的，就是 disabled。
Like okay.
Yeah， 就是 you disabled， 就是残缺的意思，就是 broken
Okay, so
and
it's
not
like you
functioning anymore.
smashed it. You smashed this vase and it's got a piece missing.
Yeah, that's the meaning.
Okay. There seems to be very little logic in the, like, it doesn't here it doesn't form like phrases or anything.
No,
it's literally just a bunch of words like thrown together.
Yeah, not really. It has much
there's no, so it doesn't make any sense even to go through like, oh, this is one line and it has a meaning. It doesn't have a collective meaning.
Not really.
What refers to an ocean-going ship. So typically, like a big one, you know, it's gonna go on the open sea. Whether that's gonna be a big container ship, freight vessel. This is like a, you know, or maybe for like oil drilling, or maybe like a big cruise liner for bazillion passengers. Like those kinds of ships. Or back in the day, it was, you know, these tall ships with the masts and the sails on them. So this on the left is what you'll see in all the words that are related to boats. On the right is a bai. This is like a sun shining.
Yeah, sun shining, the bai.
Because the sun shines white light, full spectrum.
Yeah,
and this is talking about like the sails in the original, the old versions. The sails are generally big and white. Our last character for the day is Ban. This character goes together with this one, which is Shan. Shanban. Shanban is this sort of boat, which in English we just call sampan, because it's the same thing. I guess you didn't have those, so they just use the Chinese word and they anglicize it. It's these little boats that have oars in the back, and you sort of, you know, that's literally just what's in the picture. And this over here, right half of it, this fan, is gonna refer to how it's got oars in the back.
Yeah, 这个就是板，这个帆这是板，它就是它本来有个木头，它木头 missing instead of 它就把这个舟这个 radical 放在边上，就说 is saying that this thing has the oars, 2 oars on the back on the boat.
Yeah. Okay. So those are 2 lines for the day. I don't know if this practice function is going to be working right now. It's not. When we get it working again, make sure you keep up with your practice so you don't forget the characters that you learn. We got some technical problems behind the scenes. We're working on them. And I'll see you next time.